No one really knows how long they're going to live. But let's consider some statistics. Like right now for a couple, a 65-year-age couple, there's a 50% chance that at least one of you or more, at least one of you is going to live to age 92. So that's a long time, right? 75% chance you're going to make it, one of you will make it to 87, and 25% chance to 96. So Joe, I think the key is you got to have to plan for a longer retirement than maybe our parents and grandparents did.
Yeah, and as we get closer and closer, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, where do you think technology is in regards to health?
Supposedly we're supposed to live to 120, right?
Yeah,
is what we hear.
Bryson DeChambeau, he's a golfer. He wants to live to 140.
140.
Yeah, there you go. Not me. I'm done. 85. I'm
85-ish.
good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. But let's look at this real quickly. Real simple steps to make sure that you can have a very good retirement is that Al already talked about it. Picking a retirement date. You got to start somewhere, right? If I want to travel, you have to have a destination. So this is just a good starting point. I want to retire at 65, 70, 62, whatever your number is. Start there. Then you can see if you're on track or not. You also have to consider your longevity. But then here, what is the lifestyle? Because now you're using leverage here that you can toggle, right? Hey, maybe I want to spend $150,000 a year. Maybe it's $30,000 a year, okay? And then you got to check the math and then adjust, right? So let's kind of run a quick example, Big Al. Let's just see, to help people do this at home.
Yeah, and I think 1 through 3 is fun, but then you got to check and see how close you are. So we'll go through this example. So let's say you're 62 and you want to retire in, say, 3 years. So that's age 65. Okay, so we have a date there. Longevity, let's say you feel like you're kind of in average health, so we're going to go to that 50 percentile, so that's age 92. Then you got to look at your spending. Now this will take a little bit of work, right? But in our example, Joe, $75,000 is the spending, but $40,000 is needed from investments.
Yeah, and what you will need to do there is just take a look, in a guesstimate of what you're currently spending, but then you look at your fixed income. And why we say, hey, I want to spend 75, but I only need 40, is because this person has Social Security. Maybe you have a pension. Maybe you have real estate income. Maybe you have other ancillary incomes that are coming in from other sources. So just take an inventory of A, what type of assets and capital that you have, and then second, what type of income that you can expect, not including the capital. So if you have income coming in from pensions, real estate, Social Security, whatever, look at all of that, and then you can kind of start doing some math here to see if you're on track.
Yeah, and then you really want to compare how you're doing. So take a look at your savings right now and do a little projection. Where's it going to be in this example 3 years from now? And let's say you come up with $500,000. So I want to spend 40 and I got 500,000. So we do a little math. We divide 40 into 500. We get 8%. We want this to be 4% or less, so 8% just simply doesn't work. So Joe, then you kind of have to go to work and maybe adjust 1 or 3 here.
Right. So you could, A, smoke a lot of cigarettes, right? And so you could...
True, that's one way to go.
So your retirement age, right? So I want to retire at 65. Well, you know what? Maybe you have to retire at 67, 68, okay? And then 75,000, maybe that's a little bit rich. Can you reduce that? Right, $500,000 is what my nest egg is. Hey, is there a way that I'm going to work 3 more years so I can save 3 more years of savings, right? And increase that, let that continue to grow. Your Social Security is going to be a little bit larger because you push that out. So it's just basically starting with this, right? To see if it's feasible. And then the second step is just kind of shaking things up to see how the math is going to connect.
Yeah, and I think, Joe, a lot of people, they really don't look at this, and then they retire, and then they're shocked, right? And in many cases, all you need to do is make a few little changes, and this can work out a lot better. A lot of people are working part-time in retirement just to create a little income to push their Social Security out. In many cases, Joe, that's a great way to go.
Are you ready for retirement? Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com and get our retirement readiness guide. Click on the special offer this week. Go to yourmoneyyourwealth.com, click on the retirement readiness guide, and you can walk through your own financial plan to see if you're on track.